At Beltrace, located in Bloomington, Indiana, you'll find a gorgeous park-like campus surrounded by trees, a secluded walking path, and a pond. Beltrace has all the conveniences and all the support you need to embrace the lifestyle you deserve. Our bistro-style dining has a ton of food options, and they're always changing. Channel your inner artist in our studio, get your groove on in the Commons with live music, or relax, unwind, and go wherever the day takes you. There's so much to do. You can choose from independent living apartments or cottages offering plenty of space and all the amenities you love. Assisted living suites help you or a loved one maintain independence with the support of personalized care and attention in a home-like setting. If you're recovering from surgery, injury, or illness, the Rehabilitation Center at Beltrace is second to none. We'll help you get on the road to recovery fast. Physical, occupational, and speech therapy are available on both an inpatient and outpatient basis. Those with chronic conditions will find a staff of medical professionals devoted to their needs and desires in our long-term care and skilled nursing suites. Help is here 24/7. Bloomington-based and family-owned, Beltrace is the only senior living community in Monroe County offering the full continuum of care, from independent living to assisted living, rehabilitation, and skilled nursing. Visit www.beltrace.com or call 812-332-2355 to set up a personal tour for you and your family.
Hi, I'm Kate Rowe. I'm the nursing director over at Beltrace Senior Living. We are an assisted living, independent living facility with home health services. How I got started in this is I've been a nurse for about 12 years. I worked at Bloomington Hospital for 12 years also. Half of that was before I even went to nursing school. So I kind of started as a candy striper, delivering mail and flowers to the patients. And then I started working as an aide, and then an orderly, then a unit coordinator. They had a lot of opportunities at the hospital for us to move up, and I took every single one that I could. I wanted as much experience as I could get, and the bigger the challenge, the better. So I floated for a long time as an aide. And then while I was in nursing school, I did an internship on a med-surg unit, and then I started working out of nursing school on med-surg. Did that for about a year. And then I transferred down to the emergency department, which has always been my dream. I have emergency medicine in my blood. My dad was the director of the ambulance service here at BHOS for about 30 years. And I've always looked up to him, respected him. He's definitely led my path as far as wanting to be a nurse. I've never wanted to be anything different. So I've always been very proud of being a nurse. It was the best decision that I ever did, going to nursing school. The last few years I was at the hospital, I was the charge nurse of the emergency room on weekend nights. So it was chaotic and fun, and I loved it. But I wanted a little bit of different experience with some things more focused towards psych. So I started working at Meadows Hospital, and that was a really good experience with kids, adolescents. I did alcohol and addiction with adults also, worked there for about a year. And then I ended up in memory care. I have a big, strong passion for memory care, Alzheimer's, everything like that. I've got it very strong in my family. And working at Jill's house was a wonderful experience. And I got to focus on the elderly more in depth and getting to know them and their families. While I was there, our former administrator for Lifespan Home Health contacted me. I worked with her at the hospital, and she asked me if I wanted to come work at Beltrace. And I couldn't decide what I wanted to do, but I knew that I really liked where my career was going as far as assisted living. And I said, I'm not sure. I kind of want to go back to the ER. I kind of like it here. But then she said, no, you need to go to work with me, and it'll be great. So I did, and it has been such a different experience. I've never done anything like this before. It's taken about a year to really figure out this job, this title. But now that we have an excellent team, and I absolutely love everything about Beltrace. I think that we run things really well, and we are very successful in the things that we do, and the things that we're not afraid to say that we need help with or that we need to improve on. And it's just a very good experience to be a part of. But that's how I got to Beltrace. What kind of jobs we have at Beltrace, and do you have to have a nursing degree to work here? No. We have lots of job opportunities here. Nursing is just a small part of our community, but you can do housekeeping, dietary, maintenance, reception, therapy. There's so many different things. Nursing is just a part of it, but we're always hiring for different things, and we're always creating new things for people to do, and it's just a great experience. If you did want to go to nursing school, it is very helpful to work in a place like this. You get to know exactly what type of things the elderly need, especially. And I do have a special place in my heart for the elderly, which a lot of people share. So it's just great to work there. You don't have to have any kind of certifications to start here as an aide. But we will help you if you want to get your home health aide certification. We can help you do that process. And then also we do have education assistance for if you wanted to go to nursing school. We would help you through that too. So we have lots of opportunities here at Beltrace, and I really like that we help each other grow. It's good. We have about 195 seniors that live in our community. That's with Beltrace, our building, independent assisted living, and then also our surrounding cottages. Not all of those people need home health services, which is what Lifespan is. That's who I'm actually employed with. So there are some people here that are completely independent. They don't need our help with anything. They manage on their own. But then the ones that do, we have about 50 people right now on our services. And that can include anything from just companionship to laundry help, housekeeping help, toileting, transfers, helping them get to one place to another, meal assistance, anything like that that you would need. We're very adaptable. So that is pretty much what we do, but we are on call if anyone has an emergency for all 195 residents. They all have a pendant, and if they call, we respond to them. But we only have 50 on our caseload right now. What kind of fun things do seniors get to do here? They have so much to do here. There's always something to do. Anna Martin and Melissa Davis are activities coordinators, and they always have something fun going on. Depending on the season, they'll take them to sporting events outside of the community. They'll go to the Musical Arts Center, all kinds of fun things, zoo, anything. And then here in the building, they have daily activities every day. Art, they have different people come in from outside that do teaching with art and drawing and reading. We have a group that they just started. Lots of different things. They have movie nights, bingo, trivia, lots of fun things that they can do. So they don't usually get bored, and they are not forced to go to anything. So it's just a, first come, first serve type basis, and they really seem to enjoy it. I think they do a wonderful job at keeping them entertained. They don't seem to get bored very often. Someone usually decides to come to Beltrace as opposed to another assisted living community, in my opinion, because we do have a good reputation. We do have high standards. We don't usually let those standards slip. But we do have the community that's set up to help people. We have a really great partnership with the Skilled facility, which is across the parking lot from us. We call them Little Bell, and we're Big Bell just because our building is bigger. But it helps a lot comfort people when they come in here independent, say they want to live in a cottage, independent, they don't need home health services, but they fall or they have a decline, or they just need a little bit more help after a couple years of living here. They don't have to move somewhere big. You know, they can come and move into an independent apartment here. They can go over to Little Bell, the skilled facility for rehab, and then come back, and we're all part of the same community, which makes them feel better that there's somewhere to go if they do have a decline or need additional help. We're always there, and we adapt to that on a daily basis. We're adapting people's level of cares and needs as they happen. And I think that gives them a really big sense of security, and the overall atmosphere here is just like a community. We get to know the residents really well. They get to know us really well. They feel comfortable here, and we kind of feel like we're taking care of family, honestly. So it's really nice atmosphere just walking in the building. I think that people can feel that. And I do think that that's why they choose us on certain occasions. Do you plan to expand in the future? I'm not sure if that question is for me personally or for Cardon, who owns the building. Cardon is very family-based, family-owned. They run everything in the family. So it's and is it fun to work at Beltrace or kind of sad? That's a really good question. I get that a lot, actually. So I have a lot of fun working here. Genuinely, I laugh a lot. The people we work with, we have a really great sense of humor. We get really close with each other, and we make the best out of our situation. Healthcare right now is not easy anywhere. And we've had our staffing issues. We've had our issues, you know, just with COVID related things. And I think that we are a really good group that can make the best out of our situation, and we do a good job at it. And like I said earlier, we are really good at knowing when we can't do something or we're not doing it well enough. We like to keep our standards high. We're not afraid to ask for help, and we all collaborate as a team really well to make things better. And nobody is against improving, even if we're doing well. So I really like being part of a team that has that attitude. And it's a lot of fun, I think, to work here. The only sad thing is we do see some sadness in residents when they feel like they're losing their independence. That's one of the hardest things, is when they could do all of these things themselves, and then all of a sudden they need help, and they don't want to move from their house that they lived in for 60 years, you know. So that is sad, but it's so rewarding when they're so hesitant, and then they get here and realize how much it was a good decision, and that they love being here and they don't want to leave, and they just become part of the family. So it's not sad, it's happy. We love it. We love it here.
So my name's Andrew Keene. I'm the health facility administrator at the Beltrace Health and Living Center in Bloomington, Indiana. I have been a health facility administrator since 2003. Before I was a health facility administrator, I worked as a respiratory therapist in healthcare, mostly in the hospital settings. And before that, I was a housekeeper in a hospital. I've had lots of the typical jobs that young people would have, waiting tables. I worked at a go-kart track. I lifeguarded in the summer. So I've got a pretty typical employment background that most people would have. My dream coming out of high school was to fly fighter planes in the Marine Corps. I thought that's what I was going to do. Couldn't pass the eye exam for flight school, and ended up scrapping that plan and try to decide what was going to be the next thing for me. I was always interested in healthcare technology, healthcare politics, and decided that I would pursue a career as a respiratory therapist. So I took my first job in a hospital working as a housekeeper in hopes of transferring into the respiratory therapy department. I worked as a certified and registered respiratory therapist for about 10 years, obtained my license to be a nursing home administrator, and started working managing healthcare centers and rehabilitation centers in Indiana. I've been doing it for almost 20 years. and don't really know what else I would do at this point in my life. It's really kind of it was a neat transition for me. It went from something that I never thought I would do to something that I dearly love and would recommend others to attempt as a career path. As I mentioned, I'm the facility administrator for the Beltrace Health and Living Center in Bloomington. Beltrace is a campus. We are structured like a CCRC, which is a Continuum of Care Retirement Community. That's a fancy term. That means we have the full spectrum of services on our campus. We can take care of the needs of independent people living in the community, all the way to individuals who are end of life needing hospice care or palliative care. The campus has condominiums that would be the same arrangement as any condominium that any other person would take advantage of in their community. We have an independent living apartment structure on campus that has about 100 apartment units. I want to say they go from studio apartments up to 2-bedroom apartments. We have a small assisted living business on campus, and then we have the Health and Living Center. So our campus has 2 administrators. Myself, I am over the Health and Living Center, and Jennifer Devitt, who oversees the independent living and assisted living products on campus. I will speak mostly about the skilled nursing facility. The skilled nursing facility requires a physician's certification or physician's approval for somebody to take residence in our building. We're licensed for 80 beds. We typically have about 76 of those 80 beds filled on any given day. We're a very busy facility. I would describe Beltrace as a medically progressive healthcare site. We take advanced and complex medical care here. We take patients that typically would have stayed in the hospital maybe 5 years ago. We take everything from cardiac problems to post-surgical rehabilitation, tracheostomy tubes, people that have bad infections or bad wounds and need time and extra care to heal. About half of our population at the Beltrace Health and Living Center is a rehab to home population. So most of the people that enter the Beltrace Health and Living Center come as individuals who are looking to rehabilitate for a short period of time and then return to home. So we provide a diverse service line here, everything from wound care to physical, speech, and occupational therapy to hospice services. So what types of jobs do we have at the Beltrace Health and Living Center? At the Beltrace Health and Living Center, we have a diverse portfolio of jobs on campus. We have everything from your typical office worker to physicians and psychologists working in our building. There are jobs available in this building for people that don't have high school diplomas, all the way up to individuals with their PhD. Examples of jobs we would have in the building are housekeepers, dietary aides, cooks, maintenance men, transportation drivers, nurses, certified nursing assistants, physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, activities professionals, accountants, and many more. So the healthcare industry is a good place to look, regardless of what your background is. There's a little something for everybody in our industry, and there's a little something for everybody here on our campus. You don't have to go to nursing school to be an employee of Beltrace. As I said, you can come in with less than a high school diploma into an entry-level position in housekeeping or as a dietary aide. And you can come in at any time after that point, all the way up to a physician who would have to have an MD or a nurse practitioner. So you don't have to have a nurse's license to work here. And then there are a lot of opportunities for individuals with a variety of talents and credentials. We house anywhere between 70 and 76 individuals every day. We're licensed for 80 beds. our residents get to do a lot of things that you wouldn't think people get to do in a healthcare setting. Our focus here at Beltrace is to try to return our rehab patients to the lives that they had at home. And we also want to provide a good living experience for the people who are with us day in and day out and live here permanently. So when you're a patient here, we try to plan fun things for you to do. We have the things that most people would associate with this type of environment. We offer bingo and arts and crafts, and we have pet visits, and sometimes we have Wild Care or the Humane Society bring animals in, do some educational programming with our residents. But we also do cookouts, trips to the community, maybe looking at Christmas lights, going out for ice cream, going to the mall, sometimes going to a live performance in IU. So we do a lot of activities both within the building and outside the building to engage our residents and make it a better experience for them while they're here. Beltrace has been very successful in the past. We are a IU Health Care Collaborative preferred partner, and we have a very good relationship with our referring hospitals. This means that we stay full and there's a high demand for our services. So Beltrace is currently landlocked, and although we have enough business that we could expand our operation, we're out of physical space and can't grow anymore. We expanded in 2002, in 2008, and in 2010. So we have used all the physical space that we have available on the campus and can't grow any larger than what we are today. So you might be wondering, why would I be interested in working in healthcare? As I mentioned earlier, there are entry-level jobs all the way up to PhD and MD level jobs in a skilled nursing facility. So there's a little something for everyone's educational level and skill level. Jobs in healthcare tend to be insulated against downturn or bad economies. So even when other manufacturers, other industries are laying off personnel, when it's hard to find a job, in healthcare, there's always jobs available. People are always getting sick. People always need a little extra support. There's always a place for healthcare in our society. So healthcare jobs tend to be protected jobs or safe jobs, even when the environment around you is not so great. So I definitely think that healthcare jobs give you a certain level of security. Healthcare job wages are generally generous, and the benefits are usually pretty good too. So if you're looking for a job that has a good starting wage with gross potential and a nice benefits package, usually benefits packages include dental, vision, life insurance, health insurance, quite a few other insurance products. You can find those things in the healthcare industry. Most of the people that enter the healthcare industry have a desire to give back to the community. Being a part of a healthcare team gives you the opportunity to make a positive difference in your community and to serve in a noble profession that helps people regain their lives and regain their independence. So it's a feel-good industry. It's an industry that you can be proud of. And lastly, and not nearly as importantly, many banks and other businesses offer special programs to healthcare workers, teachers, law enforcement people, and military personnel. So being a community servant and being a healthcare worker often makes you eligible to take advantage of some of these other programs that not everybody has access to. Healthcare jobs also, many of the higher level jobs require some kind of licensure or certification. If you're willing to put in the effort to earn that licensure or certification, you have some custom-made jobs for you that not everybody else can apply for. So when you're in a competitive labor market, if you have a healthcare skill or a healthcare license, you have a leg up on the competition because you're only competing with a small handful of people that have that same certification or same license as you do. I can tell you right now, if you were to come to my building as a licensed practical nurse, I could give you a job today. If you came to my building as a certified nursing assistant, I could give you a job today. If you came to my building as a physical, speech, or occupational therapist, I could give you a job today. So that credential, that license helps give you a leg up and helps open doors for jobs in the future. So just to recap, why healthcare? Why would you want to look at healthcare as a career? It's got safe, protected jobs that pay well with good benefits, and it's a noble profession. It's something you can be proud of and something that will allow you to give back to your community. So as you're looking at your career potential and you're deciding which direction you want to go in life, I should give healthcare careers some serious thought. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Devitt. I am the Executive Director at Beltrace Senior Living. I have been with Beltrace since March of 2019 and been with Cardon, the company who owns Beltrace Senior Living, almost 7 years. I went to school. So I went to school at Indiana University here in Bloomington, Indiana, and took a while to figure out what I was going to do with my career. So ended up graduating in 2007 with a degree in kinesiology and ended up applying for a position with a rehab company, which unbeknownst to me was in a nursing facility here in Bloomington. So I started in the therapy department, hoping to go to graduate school and become a physical therapist one day. As I worked my way as a rehab tech, which out of college I was making back in the day, I guess I'm aging myself a little bit, but $9 an hour, helping learn therapy, the process, getting to know seniors, and really was very overqualified for the role that I was in. And the facility recognized that, so had offered me to take over the admissions coordinator position in the same facility. Through there, I have worked my way up into a marketing role and asked to complete my administrator in training, also known as an AIT program, through that same facility, and became an administrator or got my administrator license. The facility that I was working in at the time it was very small, so there was not an opportunity for me to become an administrator. So surrounding facilities in the same area had heard that I became an administrator, and quickly I applied at Cardon and got the role that I'm in. And I have been an administrator now for 7 years. And if you would have asked me 10 years ago, 15 years ago, what I was going to be doing with my life, I promise you, I would have never told you that I was going to be the executive director of a senior living community. I think this is a career and an opportunity that kind of fell into place for me, and it was something I'm very good at, something I enjoy and I'm very passionate about, and I think that's why I am good at what I do, is because I come to work every day knowing that I'm going to help people and I'm a resource for them. So I truly 100% love each and every day. Some days are a lot tougher than others, and some days we have difficult families and difficult residents and just difficult situations that you're trying to navigate people through. But each day I come to work and I'm very happy doing what I do. So I think that shows on our campus, and it shows in our staff and our residents that we have here. So I'm very thankful for that. So Beltrace Senior Living serves a lot of people in our community. So the building that I oversee is 140 apartments and 31 cottages. We have a total of 186 residents that have access to our transportation, our activities, our meals, services that we may offer, such as the beauty shop, maintenance, housekeeping. And then there is another building on our campus, the Health and Living Center for Rehabilitation and Long-Term Care, that serves 80 residents. So as a whole campus, we serve about 260 residents at any given time, and all of their families and their friends. What I love about the Beltrace Senior Living campus and community is that there are so many things that we offer to our seniors. And one reason that people decide to come here is because it is a little bit more difficult to do some day-to-day tasks that they have to do if they're living at home with their spouse or by themselves. So we offer transportation. That could be just going to the bank. It could be grocery shopping, any sort of transportation. We take you to any IU events. So many fun things. One thing that we're currently doing at Beltrace that is very near and dear to our seniors' heart is we have partnered with Leadership Bloomington and the Boys and Girls Club, where we have children that are partnered with our seniors that live here at Beltrace, and they are going to the public library and reading to them. The kids are reading to our seniors, and they're helping them through these projects. So it's something where they have a bond with children and our seniors, and they're truly enjoying this. We also, social hours that we do, we have bingo, of course, is always a popular activity. Musical groups that come in and play for us. We do cookouts and just their art class, trivia. So really a wide variety of activities that you can participate in at Beltrace. And what is really unique is we have a lot of residents that have a lot of talents. So they're able to do some resident-led activities. For example, we have a resident that teaches Tai Chi class to our residents for free, so they're able to participate. We also have a resident who is hearing impaired and has started teaching a class to our other residents to learn sign language and the basics of sign language. And they are very much enjoying that as well. So if you're a resident and you have a talent, it's great about Beltrace is you can come here and share it with other residents as well. So deciding to live at Beltrace, this can be a very overwhelming process. And why would somebody decide to come and live in a senior living community? One is they may not have a lot of support at home, or things are very difficult for day to day. So starting cooking meals can be very challenging. One, because you have to go to the grocery store. The endurance that it takes to cook a meal and clean up the meal. Driving is one task that tends to be something that people cannot do as they age. It just becomes a lot more difficult. So when they aren't able to drive anymore, medications are also a very challenging service that residents have difficulty with. So if you are, as you age, you may be put on different medications. So just knowing how to manage that. Out of our 186 residents, that's probably something about 80 of them have us help coordinate as far as delivering them, communicating with the doctor, refills, all the services. So that's probably the number one reason that somebody may need to come in to a Beltrace or a senior living community. And just the socialization when you live at home and you can't drive anymore, or getting out seems to be a little bit more challenging. There are always people here and services. So if there's an emergency, we have staff here 24/7 that can check on you, make sure that you're doing okay, and kind of peace of mind, not only for the person living here at Beltrace, but also for their families to know that somebody is looking after them. Is it fun to work at Beltrace or kind of sad? I can 100% say that I enjoy everything that I do. It's work. I work at Beltrace, so I'm here to perform a task and do a job and take care of people. It can be really fun. We get to share a lot of moments with our residents, becoming grandparents, becoming great grandparents, watching, their families graduate, and they really take to us. So I have a child, and every day I probably get asked how my son's doing, which really makes it feel like a family environment. Conversations are enjoyable, and people just love being with each other. And I think that's the best part about being at Beltrace. With that, we also, because we go through a lot of happy times, we also go through a lot of sad times. We've had a lot of residents pass here, and maybe their spouse is living with them, and we have to walk them through that process and be the person that holds their hand through it. During COVID, it was a very challenging time because not a lot of family members or friends were allowed to come here. So we watched funeral services on Zoom, and I'm right there with that resident. So I think with anything, we're experiencing the ups and downs of all of our residents' lives. And as it can be fun and sad, it is a very rewarding position that we get to be there for these moments, and they trust us, and their families want us there, and we are making a difference in their lives. And I think that's what makes me say this is a more fun environment than sad. Is it hard to watch people age and need more help? Absolutely. But I can 100% say that we do the best of the best care, and we may not get it right all the time, but we are the best at what we do. And I think that's why people choose Beltrace. What is the average time an employee works for Beltrace? So Beltrace is, again, a place where you can come in any stage of your career. So we are very fortunate, especially being in Bloomington and associated with IU. We get a lot of high school students, we get a lot of college students that may just be starting their career, either in dietary as a server or as a caregiver in the evening time, working around their school schedule. So there are people that don't stay here very long. They may work on their breaks or while they're taking classes through the school year while they're in college. But we also have a lot of roles and positions that can become careers at Beltrace. So this building that serves independent and assisted living, we have 80 employees that are under here, and some are only going to be here 1 or 2 years. And I think we have a housekeeper that has been with us for 17 and a half years now. So I think you can work here as long or as little as you want. You can transfer to different departments, see what is a good fit for you, and it really can help create a sense of where you want to be and what career you want to have if you haven't quite decided that. That's where I was very fortunate starting my career as a rehab tech in a nursing facility. And here I am now as the executive director. So I think you can work here as long as you want, but we have a pretty long tenure of staff here.
Hi, my name is Sandra McGow, Director of Community Engagement here at Beltrace Senior Living. My role on our campus is to bring Beltrace to the Bloomington community, share what it is that we do for our residents, build relationships, create partnerships, to then bring those resources back to our residents to kind of benefit and support their needs. So I love what I do. It is truly something new every day and something that I truly am passionate about. I'm not surprised I ended up in senior living. All of my family, most of my family all work in some capacity at a senior living facility or community here in town. It's all in different departments, all very different. Some are housekeepers, some worked in dietary, some work in nursing, but none of them work kind of in my role where what is marketing. And so I didn't actually think that I would work in senior living because my calling, I feel like, or, my industry that or not industry, but my skill set is really geared more towards community engagement and what it is that I do today for Beltrace. So, I didn't think that there was a path for me, honestly. So my professional background is more in sales and development. So fundraising, I've always worked for nonprofits, always felt like I needed to work for something that was cause driven. And I've always had a passion for seniors and always have claimed to be a senior advocate here in the community. Just because of my upbringing and being around senior living communities my whole life. I was the little girl running around, helping residents with activities, hanging out with them in their rooms. I really developed great relationships with seniors in those communities that my family worked in as a little girl. And a lot of my fondest memories as a child were with seniors. So it's not surprising, like I said, that I'm in this industry. I just didn't think there was a path for me. And so when I realized, so working in the development role that I was in prior to getting into senior living, I had worked with senior living communities with some of their marketing budgets and some of their fundraising efforts. And I was working with a few communities here in Bloomington and realized, oh my gosh, wait a second, I can use all of this passion that I have for seniors and my my natural skills that I enjoy using in my professional life, in the kind of sales role and building relationships in a senior living community. It was the best kind of aha moment ever, right? I will tell you, if you are in school and maybe you get in trouble a little bit, or the teacher kind of reminds you that to not talk, right? I still agree with the teacher, don't talk in school, or, don't talk too much where it gets in the way of your education, but just know that those skills, those talking skills, or those, that ability to talk to anybody in the room, no matter who it is, or feel comfortable talking in front of people, is something that can be really valuable later in life. So I definitely had my fair share of talks with teachers about, toning it down a little bit during the school day, but it has greatly benefited me in my professional life. In fact, it's something that I'm rewarded for, is being so comfortable in front of other people and talking to anybody. So that natural ability, like I said, is something that I realized that I could take on into my career in senior living. So I've been in senior living almost 4 years now. I feel like I've been in senior living my whole life, right? Just being around this industry. But yeah, so there is a role for everyone. So I mentioned some of those other roles that my family members take on in other communities, but there is a role for people who are passionate about seniors, but maybe don't have that clinical background or are interested in that clinical background. Maybe aren't as interested in the manual labor, although I do set up quite a bit for events and other things that go on in our building. So I mean, there is some manual labor involved, don't get me wrong. I mean, I definitely have to tote around a lot of totes and wagons some days. But just being able to sit down and just listen and engage people and build those relationships, it is something that I just really enjoy. I love sharing what it is that we do at Beltrace and how important it is how important what the work we do is. So I mentioned I also always worked for cause-driven organizations. The only place that I've ever worked that is not considered a nonprofit is in the senior living world. So I feel like it's a calling, and I really enjoy what I do every single day. It's something new every day. I love being creative. I love coming up with new ideas to partner with other businesses to better get our name out there and our brand, but also to benefit our residents. And so it is something that I am thankful for every day. Absolutely. So what are some of the fun things that seniors get to do? So seniors here on our campus get to go to bingo. They get to do arts and crafts, and not just, it's little arts and crafts. Sometimes they have art shows here where they have drawings and paintings and sculpting, and there's all kinds of things they can do here. There's a card making group here, which is so fun. I really wanted to go and do the card making with them. I think that would be so enjoyable to spend that time with them. Some of the other things that we get to do it's really cool and really fun is we go on outings, we go on day trips. One thing that we are doing here locally that I'm very excited about, and this is part of my role in creating partnerships on our campus, is some of our residents have decided to be a part of our Reading Buddies program, and that is a partnership with the Boys and Girls Club of Bloomington. And that partnership pairs some of the students or some of the kiddos in the Boys and Girls Club program with some of our residents. And so it's a 9-week program, and we are going every Wednesday to the library, a neutral location, meeting up with our buddies and getting to know them a little bit better, and then read with them. So our residents are really enjoying that mentorship piece and enjoying helping the kids learn to read, helping the kids kind of develop a passion for reading. And so that has been really super fun to watch and enjoyable. And that's what I get to do is kind of find those areas of impact that we can have in the Bloomington community. So it's not just about, hey, this is what we do in Bloomington. It's also about how can Beltrace make an impact in the community. So not just the seniors we serve here on our campus, but how can we impact and make a difference in the lives of the seniors that are in the Bloomington area as well. We have partnerships with Area 10 Agency on Aging and helping with their programming and for their homebound seniors in the area. We are a big supporter of the Walk 10 Alzheimer's, a big supporter of the YMCA and their programming for seniors. So it's not just about the residents here, and certainly that is a big focus, but my role is a little unique in that I not only support our residents here, but I do feel a part of my responsibility is to also go out and kind of have an outreach of what Beltrace can do and extend Beltrace out into the community beyond the walls of our campus buildings. So someone would decide to live at Beltrace because maybe if it's in our independent living building, our residential apartment building, maybe taking care of the home is just becoming too much work, too much of a burden on the senior. So a good example that I like to give of a scenario where maybe Beltrace is the right fit is imagine a mother and a daughter. The mother is maybe a recently widowed senior. The daughter is a busy, active professional and has young children where she's really busy with their extracurricular activities as well. but also a very devoted and loving daughter, right? And wants to be there for her mother. And so the mother, can do really everything for herself. She might still drive, but maybe just keeping up with the housework is a little too much, or keeping up with some of the yard work is a little too much. Going up and down the stairs sometimes can be overwhelming because it's this big home, because at one point the whole family lived there, but as she's aged, this home is just too big for her. And so maybe she's isolating herself to a certain area of that home just because of her mobility, and being able to navigate the entire home is just becoming a little too much. And so imagine that daughter gets off work, a long day at work, gets off work and goes straight to her mom's house just to make sure that she doesn't need anything, might fold up the laundry for her, might do a few of the dishes for her, might get dinner kind of prepared, or maybe is bringing over dinner for her mother to make it just an easier night on mom, giving her just some companionship that day, just to have some interaction with someone else. And then has to run off very quickly because her son or daughter might have dance class or soccer practice or choir practice. And so needs to run off to be a mother to them. And so how different of a relationship is it when the daughter and the mother can be the daughter and mother again, rather than caregiver and patient, right? So that daughter is there to serve the mom's needs, but really didn't get to sit down and have a conversation with her and really enjoy that relationship. And those days of enjoying that relationship just keep becoming less and less, because there's more and more needs that daughter really needs to support for her aging mother. So how different of a look is it when the mother is here at a place like Beltrace, still very independent, but a lot of those housekeeping needs and the yard work's no longer an issue, right? She might have a few caregivers or supportive care folks here on our campus that come and help her with the dishes, or her apartment is smaller than that big home. So navigating that actually isn't an issue any longer. So that daughter now can come and visit the mom on the weekend, or maybe before soccer practice, or maybe the children can come with her and sit and have a meal in the dining room. While they sit there, they enjoy that conversation and really get to be the mother and daughter again, rather than caregiver and patient. So I think of senior living like that. Some folks think that it's going to be a situation where you're shipping them off to a place because you no longer care about them, when it's actually the opposite. It is absolutely a gift of love to be able to take that senior out of the environment that just really wasn't suitable for them anymore, to an environment here where they can thrive. So that's what I see senior living as: restoring those family dynamics, really filling the needs and filling those gaps for families. And that's where we come in. We are all passionate for seniors, and that's something that we want to do for them. So I always ask people to think about it in those terms. And that's how someone would decide. There are many other scenarios, but that would be a typical scenario as to why someone might choose our independent living. It is so fun to work at Beltrace. I think that comes across when people talk to me. I really enjoy what I do. Some people think that it might be sad, and it really isn't. To me, it is a great joy. It is a great privilege to work with people in their older years. It, naturally, because of the setting that we're in, we do see people pass, and that is something that is it is heartbreaking, especially as you develop those relationships. But think of it in terms of it is really a great privilege to be able to be with those people in their last years of life. They are giving that gift to you and spending that time. And so how awesome is it that we get to be there and support them during some of the more vulnerable years of their lives. And then there's the wisdom that our seniors have. It is so fun to learn from them and enjoy them in those years. So I don't think of it as sad. I think of it as a great honor and a great privilege. So do we partner with other communities, other organizations? Do we have partnerships out in the community? And of course we do. That is my role, and I love it so much. And other departments do have their own kind of little partnership areas. Of course, our nursing field kind of partnerships with doctors and their offices, bring the podiatrist in. Our skilled nursing building has really great partnerships with the hospital, and I do help with that somewhat. I do go to the hospital pretty regularly to support and encourage people to send folks to Beltrace because it is so wonderful. But some of the other wonderful partnerships, and I mentioned a few, but Area 10 Agency on Aging, so that is a senior-focused mission supporting homebound seniors. That is a partnership that we have. Another part of my role is that I serve on a lot of committees in town, and so I serve with Area 10. Also through Area 10, we do tech help. So they have a senior center here in town, and so I don't just want to support our residents here, but I want to support all residents or all seniors in the Bloomington community. And so I go out once a week and do tech help for seniors. No intention or no, nothing more than just wanting to build a relationship and help someone with their needs. So I helped a lady one time with her new phone. She had got a brand new phone and just needed help setting it up. She didn't have any family there to help her. And so it was a free service that I was able to provide. And it was something that Beltrace is really honored to be able to go out and do some outreach in the Bloomington community. So Area 10 Agency on Aging, the YMCA, we're certainly big partners with the Y, the Bloomington Chamber of Commerce, which is part of the successful part of this project that we're doing here is a partnership with the Bloomington Chamber of Commerce. And so doing things like this is this tour of opportunity was something that I saw as great benefit for us. And sharing what it is we do and our mission.
Beltrace brings the best of senior living to Bloomington, and now we have a brand new look. Come on in. We are one community with one goal, which means the Beltrace campus has you covered, offering independent living, assisted living, rehabilitation, and long-term care. From the moment you walk through our doors, you'll know you're home. Our first floor living area has completely modern touches with cozy nooks all around. Warm up in the fireside lounge, grab your friends for a game of euchre, or listen to some live music. Enjoy our chef-prepared meals in the bistro, as well as the cafe. We love to explore creative and nutritious menus that go above and beyond when it comes to presentation. You'll love our brand new dining experience. Are you a bookworm? Great! We are too. Flip through your favorite novel in our fully stocked library, or catch some rays in our sunroom and get your daily dose of sunshine. You see, at Beltrace, there is seriously so much to do. We'll help you stay active and fit. Our fitness center is ready to get you moving, and our physical, occupational, and speech therapy teams stand ready to get you on the road to recovery following an illness or injury. Choose from many convenient independent living options, 1 or 2 bedroom apartments, or even our cottages. Each are equipped with a full kitchen, laundry, and open concept living. If you need a little extra care, our assisted living apartments are the right fit for you, with 24/7 assistance. It's the best in Bloomington. Schedule your tour today. We can't wait to meet you.